Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia, that's my buddy Snark, and the Premier League's back. We have had matches this time. Week 1 is in the books, and we're here to discuss it all. But Snark, we are not alone.
Oh boy.
We are joined by one of our favorite guests, the one, the only, Fares Muthana.
I'ma need a day off. I think I call Fares up.
That's it right there.
Doing good, Fares.
A man who needs no introduction, but insists on one. He insists on one. Anyway.
Damn right I do.
Not a boy. 10 games, and refereeing didn't even let us down once.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
They let us down a lot in some of these games.
These guys had one job. They were literally 2 minutes away from not screwing up this entire week. And, well, we'll talk about that match when we get to it, closer to the end. But we start way back now, way back to Friday. And Burnley comes in, having won the championship. Incredible things are awaiting them this year. A lot of people are picking them to be safe from relegation.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good call. I think they played well, but they run into City for the first week, defending champions, the treble winners. And speaking of treble, they put 3 across. That's not to say that, again, Burnley wasn't bad. They weren't bad at all.
No.
They played okay, especially that kid goalie there. What's his name? Is it Harrison? James Harrison?
James Trafford.
So.
Trafford.
Oh, he was the goalie. He was the goalie for England's under-20 World Cup victory.
Yeah, he was really good. I thought he was
Point
great.
out as well, Emil Smith-Rowe, also on that team, also an under-20 world champion.
No one will remember him.
World Championships, but okay.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What's up with claret and sky blue kits?
I quite like it.
There's 3. There's 3 teams with the exact same kit.
Yeah.
Who are the other 2?
West Ham and Aston Villa.
Yeah.
No, Aston Villa isn't claret, isn't blue. They're goldy. They're gold.
No.
Yellow.
No. Maybe you're thinking of a third or their away jerseys.
West Ham is not. I've never seen West Ham wear blue.
Burnley, Villa, West Ham, the exact same kit.
It's the combination of claret and blue, Fares. It's not just the blue.
Yeah.
No, I know. Okay, I know the claret. Yeah. I think they all share that color, but I don't think they all share the blue.
They all have like blue sleeves.
Blue sleeves.
Yeah, I guess I'm blind.
Blue shorts. The claret main color for the jersey, and then City having claret pants and claret trim for their
yeah. What's up with that? Were they mocking them? Like, what's up with it?
I think they were. Like, yeah, there's they're welcoming back old favorite Victor Company by dressing just like him, I guess. Just wanted to confuse him a little bit. One thing that isn't confusing. Erling Haaland is still a pretty good footballer.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that first goal.
Oh yeah, I see the blue. Sorry, yeah, I see the blue.
Oh my gosh.
I'm an idiot.
Fares has looked it up.
Oh, okay, good job. Yeah, that first goal off the header, who was it? That Rodri put down just on his boot or whatever. He had no problem scoring after that. Do you think? I think that they got robbed. I think they should have had a penalty. I think. Who was his name there? Akanji.
Oh, Kanji definitely fouled him.
He took Akanji down.
Me and Adelia were talking about that earlier. He grabs his arm. He literally grabs his entire arm and brings him down. So Manuel Akanji got away with that. And you're absolutely correct. Why do all 3 of them share the same color? Someone's lazy.
It's like It's like they only had 3 choices or something like that. You guys can go with claret and blue.
Yeah,
or you can go
that's
for
amazing.
red, or you can go for blue, and that seems to be all. That's why Wolverhampton just took yellow, so it's for the single.
Because like I think does anybody share Wolverhampton's color scheme?
I don't think so. Maybe on a second, like on their away thing, or maybe a third jersey. But
like Arsenal and Liverpool both wear like red.
Yeah,
but Arsenal have the white incorporated as well.
Yeah,
Liverpool's is all red. Like there's variations, but not variations with Burnley, Aston Villa, and West Ham.
Just claret and blue.
Yeah, they just changed the sponsor. The sponsor. That's it.
JJ Watt.
Oh my god.
And Khalil Watt, owners of Burnley FC, co-owners or minority owners.
Yeah.
As well as Tom Brady, owner of Birmingham City.
Well, they're not in the Premier League. Fares.
That's weirder than the JJ Watt thing is to me.
I
just want to bring up Birmingham City so I can bring up Haji Wright. Haji. Sorry. Continue.
Unbelievable. Holland gets a second.
Coventry, I believe, Fares, not Birmingham.
Oh boy.
Oh, my bad.
Oh my god. So Holland gets a second goal, and then Rodri gets one for good measure. Problem for City, Kevin De Bruyne had to pull himself after 23 minutes with a hamstring injury again. And I think this is a problem they said going back even before spring training. It just hasn't healed. It's not like
he tore it in the Champions League final, right, Rob? He tore it?
Yeah. And then he rehabbed it and he was back. And I don't think he did much while they were over in Asia preparing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
he only played a little bit of the Community Shield. I think that was like a test it out, see if he could go thing.
Mm-hmm.
They must have decided he was fine because he started and he was the captain of the team. And then 23 minutes, that's not good for them.
Not good. They do have Phil Foden. they can just
pretty good backup.
We'll just put Phil Foden in, guys. It'll be okay for the next 75 minutes. But something to look for. It's it's a.
I want everyone to call him the angry kitten every time he's on the field.
Oh, sounds adorable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Angry little.
No, like every time Phil Foden like mean mug somebody, he looks like a cat.
I still say he looks like Draco Malfoy's buddy there.
Oh
yeah.
When you see it, you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to look for. Again, it's City. They've got multiple options. They're going to be fine. 3-0 win on the road, welcoming Burnley back at the Turf Moor. I think that's pretty much scripted. That was 3 points you could write up. Speaking of scripted, we're going to have a quick word before we go on. Talk about the rest of the weekend's matches. We're going to let you all know about our Patreon with our buddy Justin.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hambone. Guys, for some reason, you have upset me and have declared yourself Arsenal fans. For what that's worth. They did play this weekend. How about I let you guys talk about their 2-1 win at home to Nottingham Forest?
I think the biggest thing coming out of this game is the Jurriën Timber injury. Possible ACL and meniscus, which is not good at all. His season's basically over now. And I think another thing that came out of this is the weird formation we played that we did not play at all once during the preseason, with Thomas Partey as like an inverted right back. So he was technically our right back, but played most of the game in central midfield. And we had the Timber on the left, and then Saliba and Ben White instead of Gabriel. I don't know why Gabriel didn't play. I think, or at least start. He came on later in the game. but I think that there had been rumors going around the day before that he was injured, so maybe it was that, but it's not like too bad that he couldn't come on as a sub. I don't know. It was weird to me when I saw that formation.
Well, yeah, I assumed that as well at the beginning, but then as the game kept going along, one of the reporters said they talked to Mikel Arteta and asked him why isn't Gabby playing. He said it's a tactical decision. So either he lied about he's lying to the reporter saying, "Oh, it's tactical," or he's telling the truth where it's like they were tactically. Yeah, he's probably lying. He's definitely lying because that's like, no offense to Mikel Arteta, I love the guy. Yeah, if you think if taking out Gabby is a tactical decision, then no offense, I don't think you should be the manager anymore. Because that's a pretty like Gabby was the most consistent player we had in the back. He played a lot of games. I think he played very well.
70 something consecutive Premier League games.
Yeah, 73, and he's very reliable. And I think him and Saliba, I think they're probably with the best center back combo in the game. And because I don't know, they feed off of each other a lot. But my biggest issue is like we should have had a clean sheet. I don't know why we give up that late goal in the 83rd minute, I believe.
We do this all the time.
It irritates
we get a 2-0 lead.
Your trademark. It's your trademark.
A 2-0 lead, and then we give up a goal, and we have a nervy last 10 to 15 minutes of the game. Yeah. I wanted to stop. I did notice that as soon as we gave up that goal, Arteta brought Gabriel on. So
it was a real nice pass by Anthony Elanga over to
Anthony Elanga made a big difference for Forest when he came on.
Big difference. Yeah. Huge difference.
And I think he gave it to their striker that was injured, but I think is I don't know.
Amonier.
Yeah, Amonier. He's dealing from like an off-season injury, so that's why he came off the bench. But yeah, man, that's just annoying to me, bro. Like, I don't understand it. Like,
I also think you guys I think you guys didn't start the game well. I also think you guys didn't end the game well. You had a bad 2-10. You guys, and we're gonna say it was absolute domination aside from the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. Brendan Johnson should have scored.
That was the best chance of the whole game.
Yeah, the defense fell asleep.
He will be seeing that chance in his nightmares forever.
And you know what? I love Willie a lot, but that was his fault. Well, that was Willie's fault. That Brendan Johnson was wide open. Like the ball, he kicks it away, and the ball goes right to Brendan Johnson. That was Saliba's fault. The reason Johnson had that chance. I don't say this a lot, and Saliba doesn't really make that egregious mistake, but that was his fault. And he's praying, thank the God, that Brendan Johnson shanked it high and right.
That's his first action at full speed in quite some time, right?
This is his first game since like March, I think.
Yeah.
So
lesbian game.
And you got away with it. And you got away with it. So you pocket that and you move on. Let's talk a quick bit of numbers for you guys. I don't know how big of numbers guys you are, but let's talk 78% possession.
Sounds about right.
930 touches to 365.
Sweet Jesus.
And 769 passes to 200.
Yeah, we dominated them. You're right, except for that first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. And that's something they need to work on and get better at. I thought that this experiment with Partey at right back so that he could play Rice and Partey in the same team didn't really work. I think that it was maybe the right team to try it against because if you're going to try it against Forest in the first game of the season. The offense did enough to bail him out. There was the fantastic pass from Martinelli to Nketiah for the first goal.
Incredible.
Unbelievable pass. And then Bukayo Saka with a screamer for the second goal. But the giving up a goal when we have a clean sheet going with 10 minutes left and we're 2-0 up is a pattern that needs to stop.
And it happened last year as well. As something we talked about here is just the inability to keep the clean sheet. But I say full price to Forest, and they did it how they score. It was counterattackers from a corner, and they just two fast guys ran fast. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the debuts for Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Declan Rice had a few good chances. I think the ball seemed to come off his foot or his leg funny quite a bit. I think he scuttled 2 or 3 good chances. Anyways, I think he had 4 really good chances. But where was Kai Havertz?
He had a chance. He had a chance or two in the attacking third.
Mhm.
He missed it. He missed it, unfortunately. But it's still game one. They're still integrating to the team. Declan Rice. This team attack. Like, we're an attacking team. West Ham didn't really attack.
That wasn't West Ham.
But he
Forest.
did play for West Ham.
Oh,
you're talking. Oh,
I
you're
was
talking about
I was talking about him. Yeah, no,
talking
because
about
he wouldn't, like, West Ham, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like, when they would get a lead, they would just like, let's stop doing anything and just like sit in our spots and just watch.
yeah.
And so he has to like Arsenal really likes to go forward and move, and Mikel wants me to keep moving, even though I'm a 6. So like he's trying to get used to like, I can't just sit. And then because Ardegaard and you got to keep moving like the train. You got to keep chugging along.
Mhm.
See? So Declan Rice is like getting up to Arsenal play speed. Like Arsenal plays this type of way. I need to like learn to kind of like I'm fit, but am I fit for enough for them to play? And so like there's that. And same thing with Kai Havertz. Like, what Kai Havertz does he want to bring out? Does he want to bring out the Chelsea version where they put him in the attacking 3, where he was playing forward and winger, or does he want Bayer Leverkusen Kai Havertz, where he played midfield, which is with the German national team? What does Mikel Arteta want from the kid?
They put him in the exact same spot they had him at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it's Chelsea.
Like I said, this formation just did not work. I don't understand why we did this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever do it again. I don't think we will. I think the fact that we've lost Timber now ensures that we're not going to do this again.
Gabby's definitely playing.
Gabriel will be playing.
Or Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is probably going to play more.
Tomiyasu's probably going to play left back, is my guess, until Zinchenko's back. But like now there's like a question, like, do we actually sell Kieran Tierney? Because we're close to doing that.
No.
I don't know if we
I
can
see him.
now.
I can 100% see him going to Newcastle. I can 100% say, hey, Chelsea saying, hey, we got this guy named Cucurella on our bench.
Yeah,
I think
we're not buying Cucurella.
Perfect for you guys.
We're not buying Cucurella. Absolutely not.
I don't want to get rid of Kieran Tierney. I never thought he was a bad player.
They're talking about selling him to Real Sociedad.
That's good. Get him out of the Premier League. I'm cool with that. But if we're gonna sell him, get him out of here. But
I think that
get rid of Rob Holding though. I don't want that man on the field ever again. I don't want to see that man ever.
He's the thing about Rob Holding is I think he's probably staying, especially with Timber out now, because there have been Fares, I know, especially with Timber out, I think he's probably staying. I don't know what they're going to do as far as like bringing in someone else to cover the center back position and then maybe being able to let Rob Holding go. I don't know. But the thing about Timber was he could play all the places across the line in the back, and he was a great cover to have. And he was our best player in the preseason, and he had slotted into the team so well. It was pretty seamless, and this really, really sucks.
Yeah, because also too he's played center half in a 3-man back line with the Dutch team and Ajax. So I assumed when I saw Partey starting, and I found out that the graphic that they show at the beginning of the game is kind of like a guesstimate of the team. So I assumed, if they're starting Thomas Partey and Gabby's not playing, we're playing a 3-man back line, which makes sense for Jurrien Timber because he's played that his entire life, because that's what the Dutch have always done, 3-man back lines. It was like him, Ben White. People forget Ben White was a center back, at Brighton, I think. And then we told him, you're playing fullback. Sorry. And he's like, cool, I'll play fullback too. And he's like, I'm pretty damn good at it as well. So we were fine with them two in. And I thought we were going to play three center halves. And Thomas Partey, we're going to have 4 midfielders. That's what I assumed. But he actually played fullback, and it was weird looking, and I didn't like it at all.
He would play fullback for a little while, and then he would cut into midfield and stay there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a reason for him to play it right back again. He'd go back to right back. It was very strange. I will say on Kai Havertz that my favorite and the only memorable thing Kai Havertz did in that entire game to me is his reaction when Bukayo Saka scored, because he just put his hands on his head and was like this for a few minutes.
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, is that what a good player looks like that I played with? Oh my Lord. They didn't have this person at Chelsea.
He
I
did
thought-
win the Champions League. He won the Champions League for Chelsea.
He
You
did play
understand
with
that?
some good players at Chelsea. He did. I think
No,
Declan
I'm a
Rice had
hater.
the better
I'll die as a
debut
hater.
out of the two of them. Out of the two of them, I think Declan Rice had the better debut. But I also think that this was a formation that we've never played before, not even in a preseason game. So how can you judge how this midfield worked together when they've never played that way before?
Can I say something too?
So
Can I say something too? Yo,
Yeah.
what's up with this? What's up with the refs allowing people just to like physically assault Bukayo Saka whenever they want?
Wow.
I don't understand it. It's gotten to the point where like it's borderline egregious. Like it's disgusting. Like he was literally shoved to the ground in the 95th minute in the penalty box with everybody to see. Everyone and their mother saw that. And they're like, yeah, that's not a penalty.
There's a lot that the refs don't consider a penalty.
No, but
Yes.
but I remember once he jumps up and one of his opponent players kicks his legs in the air and he comes crashing down head first. Like, what do we like what's up with this? Like, what's up with that? But if somebody breathes on a Man City player, whoa. Don't you dare touch that beautiful blonde hair of that 6'6" dude. Don't touch him.
He's delicate.
You know, but Bukayo Saka you can basically do attempted murder on him and you can get away with it. Elbow him, kick him in the thigh, kick him in the leg, kick him in the foot, push him to the ground. And like, well, what's up? Like, what's up with this? Like, what's up with this? Like, it's disgusting to look at. It's disgusting to look at.
You know what? Maybe fair's fair. Just kidding. Wait a minute. Okay. Guys, we are 20 minutes into our show and we have talked about Arsenal. That's it.
Good.
we've also talked about Man City.
Yeah.
And
Burnley.
Burnley, the third Clareton Blue team.
Let's move on.
I will say
Oh
as
my
well. Steve Cooper said that there should have been a penalty for Nottingham Forest at some point in there. He said Declan Rice handled the ball on a corner or a ball that came in. I think it was a good no call because it was pretty innocuous. So
As long as you don't make yourself bigger in the box, I don't care if it hits your hand. It's like if it's out like this, yes. If it's in your body, who cares?
It was like the Nico Jackson handball that wasn't a handball.
It wasn't.
He jumped up and the ball hit him in the hand.
Well, the other guy, it also went off another guy's head and stuff like that, and hit him when he was like this. And
So it wasn't a handball. I would agree with this. A lot of people saying like that was a handball.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not a handball. And because Nico Jackson jumped up and his hands were in a natural motion of jumping, it's not his fault that the ball came straight to his hand.
If he would have jumped out like this,
that's a handball.
Yeah.
But like Nico Jackson jumped up. Yeah, also too, like, Matt Turner getting his first start for Nottingham Forest. Former Arsenal goalkeeper.
Matt Turner's first Premier League game ever, because he never played the Premier League game last year.
Yeah.
So I think he did pretty good.
He did fine.
Yeah.
You weren't going to stop those goals. You weren't stopping those goals.
No.
Yeah, no, you weren't. Also, too, his backup is Ethan Horvath, another American goalkeeper as well. America.
Okay. Moving on. We have Everton somehow losing to Fulham 1-0.
Oh my God.
In another game where a team just dominates, and this is going to be a theme for later on in the show, has unreal chances, probably 8 5-star chances in this game for Everton by Mope, Decoure, Iwobi had a chance later. Couldn't get anything by them. You have to give credit to the Fulham goalkeeper, but in a game where Fulham doesn't even start Mitrovic, he comes on in the 58th minute, gets injured 4 minutes later, so much that they had to bring in stretcher, everything, talk to him. He goes off for a minute or whatever. He comes back on, but a few minutes after that, for some reason, Everton takes out Neil Mope, and all he's done was create chances this entire match.
It made no sense.
Yeah, 1 minute later, Fulham gets the ball to Bobby de Cordova Reed, and it's 1-0. And the Cottagers absolutely fleece Everton, and this is
What a
why
great pass.
Everton's always in that mix for getting relegated
What
because
a
they just
yeah,
can't get it together.
it's a fall. It's a fall from grace. It's a fall. It's an extreme fall from grace for a team that used to like fight for Premier League championships, but now it's like let's just please survive. But what an amazing assist by Harry Wilson!
Oh
What
yeah,
an amazing assist!
yeah,
Like
the sliding
yeah,
sliding
he
pass.
he just clips it. He just clips it across, and Jordan Pickford is too late to react, and he's just like a step slow, and then Reed just taps it in on the run, and then he has to jump and evade Pickford, and he still scores, and tremendous shot.
I think the other thing to talk about in this game is the disallowed goal for Everton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why was this a disallowed goal?
Okay, so yeah, Tokarski is just standing there.
Yeah.
They come over. He grabs the ball.
That's a goal. That's a
yeah,
goal.
the keeper grabs the ball and loses it by not only coming over the back, grabbing it, he loses it on Tarkovsky, and it falls to Michael Keenan in. Again, unbelievable how this is not considered a goal.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Now, I understand that they couldn't review it for VAR because the whistle went before the ball was in the back of the net.
Yep.
But why is whoever the referee was, I'm going to look up who the referee was right now,
Why blow the whistle?
calling a foul there? Stuart Atwell. It was Stuart Atwell. What are you doing?
That's a foul on Bernard Leno.
On Bernard Leno, yeah.
Leno. He just jumps over Tarkovsky and just and then he jumps over him. He jumps over him and he hits the ball. Then he brings down his entire upper body on top of Tarkovsky. And then as he's bringing his entire body on Tarkovsky, he loses the ball and the Everton player kicks it.
I agree with the call if Tarkovsky is backing into him or if he's jumping. But he's just standing there. He has a right to his position.
Mm-hmm.
It's the goalie that clatters into him and loses the ball. It's just he just lost possession of the ball. That's it.
This is the first of two calls that went the goalkeeper's way this weekend that were ridiculous, in my opinion. We'll get to the other one.
I can't wait to get to the other one. This is bananas. Anyways, I'm not a huge fan of either team, but I really don't like Fulham, so I hate to see them get 3 undeserved points, but you know what? They got them. Moving on. Yeah, moving on. Bournemouth and West Ham, a 1-1 draw. Entertaining. You know, what do you want from Bournemouth and West Ham? Jared Bowen scores from outside the box. Something it really reminded me of Saka's goal, where it gets to the top left corner or whatever from outside the box.
He's a quality lad. He's a good player.
It was a real good tackle by Pablo Fornals that really set that play up. And then for some reason, everybody just stood around watching while this was happening.
He's not staying at West Ham for long.
Well, no. We're going to talk about who's coming to West Ham in one sec. But it's the 82nd minute, and the guy that you expect to score for Bournemouth and Dominic Solanke gets the recipient of some, let's say, some good luck. The ball gets passed into the box, goes off a heel, drops right to his foot. He just walks around, gets the equalizer. Let's see. Let's talk about who's coming, because I couldn't believe that this guy wasn't picked up before the first week of the season. I think he found the spot where he should work best in, replacing young Mr. Rice. James Ward-Prowse is going to be coming to West Ham for £30 million. That's it. Maybe the best free kick taker in English football. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I just know the memes about him.
It's a good pickup for West Ham.
Yep.
They also agreed to a $30 million fee with Harry Maguire, so they've already spent $60 million of the $130 million that we gave them. So on those two players,
well, they threw away $30 million. Let's just say that.
Well, okay, they paid $30 million for a player that's going to contribute, and $30 million for Harry Maguire.
Yes.
So $30 million kind of down the drain. But also too, they're probably going to get a lot of money if the Lucas Paquetá deal, Paquetá deal goes through with Man City.
Yep.
And all I'll say is this: I don't know what Pep Guardiola sees in the kid,
He hit a late
But
post.
I wouldn't pay $75 million for him.
Hit the post. He hit the post late. He had a chance to
No,
win
Rob,
it,
he didn't hit the post late. He kicked it right into the post.
Yeah.
It wasn't deflected. He kicked it right into the post.
No,
It
those
should have
things
been a
happen.
goal. He kicked it right into the post. He had a clear view of the goal and decides to kick it to the post. And you want to pay $70 million for that, man? I don't.
He sees something. He sees something in this guy. I
He
don't know.
sees something. He sees. I don't know what he
If there's
sees.
one thing you can't do is you can't really judge Pep Guardiola's taste or whatever when it comes to players. I think he has a pretty good eye.
He has a good eye for talent, but
Yeah.
Paqueta hasn't lived up, I think, to what West Ham wanted him
Mhm.
to when they bought him last year. If he goes to Man City and fits in as a squad player, great. I don't know that you pay that much for a squad player, but where else is he going to fit in that Man City team?
But
we'll see.
But hitting the post was kind of a big theme for West Ham because there was another shot where they hit the post and it bounces out and it goes right to the goalkeeper's hands. They hit the post a couple of times. Now, if you want to buy a West Ham player, man, I would buy Jared Bowen. I would be like, hey, man, you give me like, and due to the fact that Jared Bowen's also British, so you're gonna overpay a little.
A little bit.
You're gonna overpay a bit. So you know if you want to waste $70 million.
I would wait. I would wait to see how Jared Bowen is closer to January before anyone would ever think about buying this guy. Let's move on again. Another newly promoted club, Sheffield United. They lose to Crystal Palace 1-0. And another club that has a very similar kit to another club, Sheffield United and Brentford's home kits, again, remarkably similar.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Palace dominated the entire match. Edward, I guess the goal. Nice feed from Jordan Ayew. Edward was all over the place. 2 or 3 good chances. Had one called back for offside. A good start to the season for Atsone Edward.
Yeah, and I think Jefferson Lerma also had a really good game as sort of like that like holding midfield player. He was cleaning up every time that Sheffield United got through for a possible chance. I thought he was a really good pickup for Palace in the offseason. Came in on a free from Bournemouth, which is somewhat surprising. But yeah, this was domination by Palace. I thought Eze had another good match.
Yeah, he was really good.
Sheffield United is going to have it tough this year. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
They've sold some of the players that got them the promotion from the championship.
Mm-hmm.
They're without like 4 of their best players from last year now.
Yep.
They've only really brought in like 1 or 2 players that, like, quite frankly, I've never heard of. And that squad is not looking like it has the depth to make it through a 38-game Premier League season.
They're going to get relegated.
So they're going to go, yeah.
So 2 of the 3 that got promoted, I think them and Luton Town are going to get relegated with like either like Bournemouth or Everton with them. I think Burnley has done a better job of strengthening their squad, over the last time, and they got Luca. Burnley got Luca Colosio, the tri-national. That's in the Italian youth system, but he could also play for Nigeria and America. So there's he still needs to choose. Either he's committed to the Italians or he can do the switch if he wants to. Well, Sheffield United just bought Austin Trusty and that was it. Like, that's all they did.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like I don't understand like the players who helped you become promoted. Why I don't understand like the selling aspect of it. Like you're about to get like $150 million. Like from being promoted or something. Or is that how much money you get? Like 100 million, 150, something like that?
It's a lot.
It's like a lot.
That way.
You get a lot of money. Keep the players. You just make it like give them a better salary, and then add a player or 2. Like I don't understand you just selling everybody. You honestly it feels like you got promoted just to get the 150, and then sell more players to get more money, and you're okay with being relegated the following season, and then you'll just fight back again. Then you get another 100 million.
I think you're understanding now.
Yeah, okay. I think that's definitely what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, so they don't care about winning. They really just don't. So, like, okay, I get it.
They care about winning the championship. They care about winning to get forward. If it ever
But here's
came
the
to
thing,
a
Rob,
point
no,
where
but
they
here's the
had an
thing, Rob.
academy, if they get an academy together where they can get kids that are going to come up that look like they have talent, then they can start pushing. But for now,
But here's the thing, too, Rob. It's not even. They didn't win the championship.
yeah,
They were second.
Yeah.
And Lewintown didn't. Lewintown was third, and they had to like fight Coventry City to death.
Yeah,
You know, like
Luton was not third. I think Luton Town was like 5th or 6th, and they won the
they
playoff.
won the playoffs.
yeah,
They
they
won the
won the playoff. Yeah, they're right. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it's not even about winning. It's just about like just getting promoted.
You have to get there.
Yeah.
You have to get there. Everything is to get up. Everything is to get up. It's the lottery.
Yeah.
You win the lottery when you get up.
Mhm.
That's it.
So the only thing I really care for about these two teams is that both of them have an American center back. So it is what it is.
Oh, brother.
And Chris Richards and Austin Trusty, and neither one of them played. I don't agree with it though.
Let's talk about the aforementioned Luton Town.
Wait, Rob, one more thing.
Oh boy.
Crystal Palace still looking to sell Michael Olise because he wasn't on the reserves or in the team. So they're probably either he's injured or they're trying to sell him.
They're trying to sell him.
Definitely trying to sell him.
They're trying to sell him.
Yep.
One team keeps being mentioned. I'm not going to say which one because they seem to buy everybody these days. It even drives me kind of crazy, but whatever. We will talk about that if it and when
Is it
it
Chelsea?
happens. Brighton took on the aforementioned Luton. Luton back to the Premier League. Not a very warm welcome for them. Brighton gets goals from Solly March, Joe Pedro from a pretty soft penalty, but a penalty. Adingra and Evan Ferguson all score for Brighton, so they're getting goals. They're getting goals from everywhere. Aside from Solly March, Adingra and Ferguson, I think new to the Premier League this year. At least I don't remember much of them from before. They score. Carlton Morris gets Luton's lone goal and their return goal to the Premiership off a penalty that I think was a little more deserved.
I think Ferguson was with them last year.
He may have been, but I don't
Ferguson,
think
he was. He didn't play.
He didn't play a lot.
He's like 18, 19 years old. So.
Yeah, he's Scottish, right? Or is he Irish?
Irish.
He's Irish. He's one of the okay.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Luton Town did finish third last year in the championship and won the playoffs. So that somehow they were the underdogs in the playoffs and still managed to win them when they finished above every other team.
I think they'll always be the under. They only have a 10,300 seat stadium. They'll always be considered the underdog. But we'll talk about a little bit in a little bit. We'll talk about their situation there. Let's keep moving on to maybe the surprise of the weekend, where Newcastle easily handles Villa 5-1, and it's a very good Villa team, but Newcastle came out and they look real dangerous right from the get-go. The brace from our good buddy Alexander Isak, it's just a domination, but it was from the second half. It was a tie going into the half.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they made adjustments. Anyhow, makes adjustments, and they just take over. Now, do you think this is a Newcastle squad? This is the first week. This is the first week of the year. Everyone's saying Newcastle's in trouble because they're not going to be able to handle things going forward because of their commitments now to Europe. Do you think this is more of an offshoot of what's of Newcastle season, or do you expect more of this to come from Newcastle?
I expect more of this because like people talk about like, oh, Europe, but everyone's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal's in Europe. Why aren't we saying about them? Man City's in Europe. Why don't we say about them? Like Man United's in Europe. Liverpool's in Europa.
Yeah, but they also have the experience. Like this is going to be Newcastle's first time playing European football in over 20 years.
But I think that's a good thing because you kind of going into Europe. You're like, you know what? Sometimes the inexperience helps you where it's like, it's just a game.
Yeah,
we're just playing ball. Yeah, it is what it is. We're playing, and they do have European experience with certain players. You know, Sandro
Yes.
Tonali played in Europe with AC Milan. I think that's the only one I know off the top of my head. All the other, I don't know if anyone else has played in Europe
Kieran
on
Trippier probably did with Tottenham.
Yeah. I think no, he did. He did, right? He did.
Yeah.
So they have players who have been in Europe. The team hasn't been in Europe since 19
Yeah,
whatever. I don't
in
know.
the 90s, I believe in the 90s.
Yeah, with probably with Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Nah, see, I said his name right.
You did.
But yeah, Eddie Howe has never managed a team that's had to play this much though too, and a lot's going to depend on him. A lot's going to depend on some of the
It'll
sides.
be more
Like,
rotational. Does he have the
No.
rotational pieces to the depth? Like, because the thing about Europe is all about depth. Like
Yep.
Man City, the reason Man City won Europe last year is that like they can bench a player and be like, oh, you don't really need to play this because we'll play this someone else. You know, we don't need you. Like a team that loses their best midfielder in a championship final should lose. But Man City was like, no, we're good. They lost Kevin De Bruyne in the game, and most teams are like, oh, snap.
Mhm.
We're screwed. Man City was like, whatever. Hey, you random kid I bought, go in there. You know, and you're like, oh, snap. And that's what happened. Rodri got man of the match, you know, so they're fine.
Yeah.
And that's why they bought Sandro Tonali. They're adding more depth. They're adding more players. They have Elliot Anderson. They have one of the long staffs. So like there's that. And Newcastle is no joke, man. Don't count them out in your own peril. They're against Man City this week.
It's going to be a heck of a match.
It's going to be a heck of a
game.
match.
Yeah.
Like Callum Wilson's on the bench.
I think that this game though turned with the Tyrone Mings injury.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that they have the second half that they have if he's still in the game for Villa.
Yeah, you'd expect more from him with them in the lineup for sure. And just say that Sandro Tonali did score the first goal. Also Callum Wilson, who you also mentioned, and Harvey Barnes gets his goal coming up from.
Could have had two if he was a little bit selfish.
She's a little selfish. It was a weird little pass or whatever. I think he learned his lesson on the second one. Just said, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it.
Also, too, for Aston Villa too, they're one of their big signings, Moussa Diaby, scored their goal.
He scored their goal
off of a good run and pass for him. So there was that. Did Yuri Tillemans play in this match?
Let me check. I don't know if he came on or not.
Yeah, so the three signings they had are Moussa Diaby, so he scores the goal. Pau Torres,
Tillemans came on at halftime.
Yeah, the Pau Torres play. He's the center back from Villarreal.
Yes, he's the one that came on for Tyrone Mings when Tyrone Mings was injured.
So their big signing, Pau Torres, didn't help their defense. That's kind
I tell you what, their defense, especially in front of goal, was shambles.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was shocking.
So and Emi Martinez did not have a very good game either.
Yeah. So Tyrone Mings really is kind of like the heart, soul, brain of that back line, because like without them, they kind of look lost and despondent. And you know, this kid you bought from Villarreal, you know, you're like, hey, watch this kid, him and Moussa Diaby.
It's also throwing this kid from Spain into the deep end in the middle of his first Premier League game. And he did not, it was sink or swim, and he did not swim.
Also, too, I'm not going to lie to you. The second goal of Newcastle, it looked like two Newcastle players were offsides, like badly, and they kept the goal. And
yeah, I saw where they drew up lines and stuff like that, and I thought they went for the wrong person or something. I didn't get that either. But.
Yeah, it looked like so. Like I just brought up the video and I freeze framed it on the kick of the free kick. On the kick, and they're offsides by a country mile.
Yeah,
like they are. It's bad. It's really bad. But you know, what do I know? I'm just an American.
It wouldn't. It really wouldn't have mattered. Let's move on. We've got the Sunday matches now. We're going to start with a Harry Kane-less Tottenham Hotspurs drawing at Brentford 2-2. Kane in a Bayern shirt. I got to see highlights of that, whatever is that Super Cup they call it, like
The German Super Cup,
their Community Shield or whatever. Well, he looks as ridiculous as he always did. So there you go. But Bayern looked bad.
Yeah, Bayern looked bad. My favorite thing was when Harry Kane went to go protest to the referee about something in that game, and then realized he wasn't going to have anything to say to the referee because he doesn't speak German.
I don't know German.
My favorite.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get a new goal celebration too. He can't point at his back anymore, or he'll have to go like this or something like that to see his man. Ridiculous. But life begins for Spurs without him. But James Maddison comes out and played goddamn well.
Yes.
And it's his free kick that finds Christian Romero's head to put Spurs up 1-0. And it was good work by him to get the free kick there in the first place. But then, okay, we've been talking penalties, and here's another one. Heung-min Son takes down Matthias Jensen in the box with a kick to the back of the legs. Now I thought it was a penalty. I thought that given the run of play that's been happening, a kick to the back of the legs looks like a penalty. I've heard a lot of people disagreeing with me. I think a lot of those people may be dumb. What did you think? I think a legit penalty. What did you believe?
I thought it was a penalty when I saw it. I was kind of surprised it wasn't called a penalty. He kicked him. He didn't kick the ball. He kicked him.
They called penalty. They called it.
Yeah. Eventually, it was a penalty.
That's right.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people that didn't think it was for whatever.
No, it was a penalty.
I think they think it's not a penalty because of Song is going forward motion, and they think Song tripped over the player instead of him kicking the player.
He kicked him. I think it's pretty plain and obvious. So it sets up one of my favorite names to say. I couldn't wait. Ryan Mbeumo gets to take the penalty kick, and a very Jorginho-esque kick. I recognized that right away. I was like, oh, I know that. Finds the back of the net. He ties it up after 27 minutes. 9 minutes later, the other another good player for Brentford and Wissa puts the Bees in front. Goes off a defender and then in. They've been calling that own goals, but they decided to award Wissa the goal for that. And then Maddison again has the ball at the top of the box. Same kind of play, but it looks like he spins around a little too egregiously. Referees don't call for a foul, but it comes free to Emerson Royale, who absolutely hammers it into the bottom left corner, draws the game. That's a bit of luck there, maybe. I think I'm happy with the non-call. I think this whole jumping around and spinning shit has to stop. I thought that was egregious, and I'm glad they didn't call it. But defense just stopped. They were waiting for a play, and Emerson is the one who decides, oh no, you play until you hear a whistle. So absolutely hammers it home. A 2-2 level game. Positive start for Postecoglou.
This was the most entertaining Tottenham have been in a while.
Mm-hmm. Where they didn't have to depend on one guy, where everything didn't center around one guy. Yeah, they
didn't have to depend on just the one guy. I thought Son had a pretty good game. Maddison was really good in his first debut. Mm-hmm. Good pickup from Leicester.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But I thought Brentford were also pretty decent. I just thought it was an overall pretty good game.
Considering they're missing a huge...
they're missing Ivan Toney. Well. They're both playing without the guys that scored them all the goals last year. Toney for Brentford and Harry Kane for Spurs. So I thought it was a pretty good game overall. I thought the new goalkeeper for Spurs... didn't do too bad.
I thought he was funny looking, though. Just saying. I think he's a funny looking guy.
And... there was the incident right after Christian Romero scored the first goal where they yanked him out of the game and he didn't want to come out. But that was a concussion thing. So he'd had a head clash just right before he scored the goal.
Yeah.
So they decided, they decided, no, you're coming out, and he was not happy about that. Just the first player who got substituted that day that was not very happy.
No. Anything you want to say about that, Fares?
I hope Ange Postecoglou fails and he gets fired.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's an absolutely fair thing to say.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the other game.
Oh, did you want my unbiased analysis?
That was unbiased. That was
Okay.
unbiased. Yeah, no, that's
All right.
fine to say. I think you're.
I hope Hung Min Song does what Harry Kane does and says, you know what, I want to leave.
He won't get to go to Bayern.
New captain of Tottenham.
Yep, new captain.
Yeah.
of Tottenham.
New captain of Tottenham.
It makes sense.
Loads of new
I
captains.
think he's earned it. Still, hope he fails in everything he does.
Okay.
Hopefully they get relegated, but not by the looks of it. From
If they get relegated, it would just be like it would be like River Plate Boca Juniors, and Arsenal fans would never let them ever hear from they'll always hear from us.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that story about the River Plate Boca Juniors?
I'm not sure. I probably not. But you can tell me about it off air.
Okay.
We'll move on.
I will.
Chelsea won. Liverpool won.
Moises Caicedo Bowl.
It is the Caicedo Bowl.
And the Romeo Lavelle Bowl.
And the Lavia Bowl as well.
Lavia Bowl.
The
defensive midfielder bowl.
No kidding. 170 million pounds worth of players we're talking about.
Yeah.
So Luis Diaz scores. Salah has one called back for offside.
Mm-hmm.
Axel Disasi scores. And then Ben Chilwell has one called back. That's just the first half. Chelsea takes over this game in the second half. Just couldn't get anything through. I think Liverpool started coming on late. Darwin Nunez with a real good chance late as well.
Mm-hmm. Virgil van Dijk had a nice screamer that just clips off the top of the goalie post.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nicholas Jackson looked good. Would have loved to have seen a better finish from this kid. But that's it. He's an absolute kid. So 3 or 4
years old, I think.
Yeah, 3 or 4 real good chances. He was part of the play of the entire game. I thought Enzo Fernandez was terrific.
He's playing his actual position now.
Love seeing him further up. It was weird seeing Conor Gallagher play back, and not a great spot for him, but that's why looks like we're going to be paying an incredible amount of money to get 2 guys to take that spot and probably sell Connor off, which is
over $200 million for 2 players, Rob.
Well, 170 million pounds worth of players. It's unbelievable. But again, Reece James, his first game as captain, played well. Some chances created. Had to come off in the 75th minute because he was tired.
Is he not match fit? What's going on?
It might not be. He's been so injured the last couple of years, but especially last year, he's so hurt that getting him back into game shape may take a bit. Now that they're actually going full speed, he played 75 good minutes. Like maybe there was something that they just didn't want to say. You say that managers are huge liars. He's a bit of a liar, so that's fine. Robert Sanchez, his first Chelsea start at net. Kepa has agreed to go to Real Madrid on a season-long loan with no buy option. So
yeah,
Chelsea will be getting Kepa back next June.
190,000. Well, that's just cover for Courtois because Courtois tore his ACL, and they're like, we'll have Courtois back next year, so we don't need to buy Kepa.
Right, but still,
what if Courtois is not the same? Like you tear your ACL. Like I don't know how.
75% Thibaut Courtois is still going to be the best goalie in Spain.
Yeah, but at like 35 years old.
Yep. He could be 40.
Goalkeepers play for a long time.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers actually mature later.
How important are ACLs to goalies?
Mature later, Fares. Well, your ACL is important to everyone, Fares.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It helps you walk.
That's what I'm saying. Like he tore his ACL.
He just has to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So his lateral movement is much more important. So the ACL is okay. I see how it is.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's going to be gone all year. Like, this is not a simple injury, but
Yeah.
he'll be fine. The rest of recuperation. He's a tremendous athlete. He'll be back. He'll be fine. I love Thibaut Courtois. Keep Blanca. I'm fine with. I'm fine with him leaving. I'm fine with Chelsea not having 190,000 pounds a week on their pay bill.
So
I
is Real
am.
Madrid paying his entire salary?
You have to.
I thought you can split it.
Nope. Not for this. Not when they're getting him for no loan fee. It's a straight loan, so they're just assuming they're assuming his salary. So
Okay,
whatever.
so FIFA lied to me then.
They're gonna go to Robert Sanchez, but they have no real backup. So that's why I'm starting to wonder, where's the option behind Sanchez, and do they
you
look?
You guys sent off your prospect to Greece.
Yeah.
Oh no, Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium. And then there's Bettinelli, who's been around forever, but he's also hurt. So you have to keep thinking deeper and deeper and deeper into the prospect pool and stuff like this. So at some point, you start thinking, if something happens to Sanchez, they're in a lot of trouble. So I don't know if they start looking now for a keeper of all things. They're looking for keeper now. They got 2 defensive midfielders coming in, possibly a striker. Money. It's bananas.
What striker
but
you
it
trying
was
to
a
get?
Chelsea performance. Well, right now we just need a striker.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it matters about which one, and more importantly, maybe getting rid of a striker. In
The name of
news about
Romelu
that,
Lukaku.
yeah, and Tottenham has actually made contact with Chelsea concerning
Yeah,
Romelu Lukaku.
Romelu Lukaku can't play in Italy anymore.
Well, he could, but
Yeah, but it's not for the teams he wants to play because the both fan bases hate his guts.
Everybody hates his guts. Like, let's be fair. Nobody likes Romelu Lukaku.
I like Romelu Lukaku.
How dare you, sir? So
I think
I
Everton fans are big fans of Romelu Lukaku.
I was gonna say you can have Romelu Lukaku.
No, we're fine. We don't need Romelu Lukaku.
No, you guys would be terrific for you guys.
We what Arsenal needs to do is play their goddamn young strikers. If they don't want to sell. If you're gonna sell someone, sell someone. If you don't want to sell them, you got to play them. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. This is why you guys have so many other matches to play, and like that's when you play these guys. It's for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. You can play them in some of the round robin stuff for the Champions League. They'll have plenty of chances.
Balogun wins us the FA Cup. I'm cool with that.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, just a couple other matches for Chelsea. Levy Colwell, I think he did really good against Salah. I think he was fast. He looked fine. And Raheem Sterling, surprisingly a good showing as well. I thought he got into the box quite well. His distribution maybe could have been a little better. But yeah, for the first game of the year, Raheem Sterling was fine. This might be the only time I give him praise all year. So yeah, good job, Raheem Sterling. Now, let's talk about the match I wanted to talk about since we started.
Well, I want to mention first before we move on, the Mo Salah coming off
the tape
and being so angry was very interesting to me.
I don't think it was interesting whatsoever.
What do you think it was then, Fares?
I just think he's angry that his goal was disallowed. He's angry that it was a tie, and he wanted to stay in the game, but he's more angry at himself than Jurgen Klopp.
I don't know, because he didn't shake Klopp's hand. He walked straight past him. There was a lot of.
Oh no! In the moment, he's angry at Jurgen Klopp. Like, why'd you take me out? Like, we could win this game, but in the long run, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's whatever.
I just think it's interesting to watch. I mean, like, Firmino's gone, Mane's gone. He's got a bunch of young kids around him. The team's not that great. They're not getting the players that they want. They're choosing other clubs. Like, I think Salah might be a little disgruntled. That's all.
If he wants to still wear red, there's a team that probably wants him.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight over Mo Salah's feelings.
No, but I found the Chelsea fans cheering the tape tossing was very amusing to me.
It's funny. It's funny too. I remember this team had him when he was a youngster and decided to get rid of him because they thought he was garbage, and they sold him. And then he went to Italy and balled out in Italy, then came back and won a Champions League and a Premier League title with Liverpool. I don't remember what that Premier League team was. I think they were.
You can thank the special one. You can thank the special one. It all worked out. We got another one too, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up.
All
Point that
right.
out. The reason Chelsea won the Champions League is Kai Havertz. You know where Kai Havertz is?
Yeah.
At
He's
Arsenal.
wandering around. He's wandering around like a timid deer. And then, okay, let's talk about
Yeah, and
Man.
your owner spent $1 billion on being
Fares.
15th. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be fine. Don't worry about them. Man U 1, Wolves 0, and this is a horseshit game.
This was robbery.
Yeah, United
Can we talk about how in the 17th
given 3
minute,
points.
17th minute, Lissandro Martinez got a yellow card in 17 minutes? That
Mhm.
has to, like, this man, like, does he not know how to defend without like injuring people or getting yellow cards? Like, thank the Lord, Man United usurped us in getting this man to play defense. Because Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. If you can't play defense without getting yellow cards and defending without even getting away, let's say even if you commit a yellow card offense but get away with it, that's fine. But he doesn't get away with it. Like the refs are on him, like white on rice. Like they are watching him to do something. And that man, not a very good defender.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Jesus, Lord, Mary, and Joseph. That man.
He's not
is-
even the most of their troubles. The most of their troubles is
No, he's not.
in the midfield where they were awful. Wolves had no problem running the length of the pitch. Like there was no defense. There was none. This is Casemiro. This is my old buddy Mason Mount. This is Rio Fernandez. They're just sitting around watching.
Awful.
They were terrible.
Awful.
Bruno Fernandez.
Sorry, Bruno Fernandez.
You said Rio Fernandez. You mean like Rio Ferdinand?
Yeah. It all gets mixed up in my head.
Yeah.
Bruno, yeah, they all just watch. Mason Mount has done nothing since coming over from Chelsea all through their preseason, and they played him a lot. He has done nothing. He has zeros. He has done nothing. He has watched. It's like, thank you for giving us $60 million or 60 million pounds for this rat. He's a rat. He's gone to United and he's showing his true colors. And this is what we saw last year. This is why he couldn't get on the pitch, guys. Because he stood around watching. He's watching. He's unbelievable. And, but the finishing for Wolves is atrocious. Atrocious.
Bad.
Wolves
Trash.
were so good, except for being able to finish in front of the net.
Mm-hmm.
The commentators on the game here in America said they were fantastic for the length of the pitch until they got to the 6-yard box, and then they were terrible.
Yeah, because they were just they were literally. This is a game that Adami Torre would have been great in, because that man can run very fast in a straight line. He can run very fast.
Everybody was running fast in a straight line.
Yeah,
That was the problem.
Like literally, man, and like this. Okay, like people are gonna be like, "Oh, look what Andre Onana did." Like Andre Onana did nothing. He did nothing.
He did one thing.
He did one thing. He did one thing. Yes, he did one thing. But overall, he did nothing.
Wolves had 23 shots, 6 of them on target. None of them went in.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Like
unbelievable.
And like Casemiro, he's in his 30s now. He's 32, I think.
Yep.
And then he finally realized, like, hey, I have to actually play defense without kicking people in the shins. They actually give you cards here.
Yeah,
so it's kind of revealed how
anymore. It's not Real anymore.
Yeah, like you can't get away with stuff.
Yeah.
Got away with it today.
I think one of the most telling stats about how the game went for United versus Wolves is that United had 465 passes in this game, and Wolves had 439. Those numbers should not be close with the way that this Wolves team was. Mm-hmm. Gary O'Neill had 5 days with this Wolves team, and they played fantastic, except for the finishing in front of net.
They've had this kind of finish before. If I remember right, I think it was FA Cup versus Liverpool where they played fantastic, and then VAR took a game away from them.
There were so many chances in this game. Like, dude, Andre Onana, I don't know what God he prayed to. I don't know what he sold, who sold he sold to for this game. Like, there were just some of those. I'm like, bro, that should have been a goal. 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 Like, Wolves should have had, like, it should have been 6-0.
Yeah.
Should have been like 6-0. And I'm just like, how did this happen? Like I know the one where I think number 12 just get past he gets past Raphael I don't know how to say his last name.
Varane.
Varane. He gets past Raphael Varane and he just misses it and it's outside of the post and you're like, how do you not score that? And they were just outrunning Man United. They were just outrunning them. They were running them. That's why the passes doesn't seem a lot of Delia is they would pass it and then the guy who got the ball instead of passing it decides to just run and he would run and he's like, there's so much grass. Why am I so open? I'm gonna keep running and I'm gonna keep running. He became Forrest Gump. That's why the passing wasn't like
It might
similar
have gotten in
because
his head. It might have gotten in his head.
yeah,
Like
he's
it's
like,
No.
just running so much. There's so much space. Like what do you do
Yeah.
with the ball?
The passes were very similar, Fares. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like you
No,
would
that's what I'm
think
saying.
Man United would have 200 more passes or more than Wolves, just based on the way these teams are set up.
yeah,
And it was not that way at all. Man United's midfield was non-existent most of the game. Lisandro Martinez came out at halftime. I don't know what that was all about.
not a very good defender.
And it didn't help at all. Victor Lindelof made some good blocks in there. Like, I don't know.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk about the penalty thing.
Well,
let's
also
talk about the
too,
penalty thing.
Man United, they have no 9. They're playing Marcus Rashford down the middle, which is dumb because Marcus Rashford scored all 30 of his goals from the left side. They need a 9, and they decide to waste their money on a 20-year-old who was injured. You spent $70 million on someone who's injured.
Who scored 9 goals last year as well.
Scored 9 goals
Yeah.
last year. But apparently some other kid from
Atalanta.
Arsenal scores 21 goals in the French
Yes.
league. Sorry, my bad. Continue.
Unbelievable. Let's talk about
Grinds my gears.
oh no, you don't say. Andre Onana runs into Sasa Kalajdzic. Nowhere near the ball. The ball nowhere near. Head
No, no.
forward, crashes into him while making
Remind me,
himself
what minute
big.
was that?
This is the second minute of extra time, 5th minute of extra
Yeah,
time.
it was well,
Yeah, because they were
it
supposed to
was
play
this-
7 minutes or whatever, and
It was
I think
this-
this took at the 5th minute or something like that.
well, according to this, the VAR decision came down in the 7th minute of extra time that there was
There you
no
go.
penalty.
Yeah.
So it had to be like the 6th minute because it wasn't that long of a VAR check.
No, somehow it wasn't that long of a VAR check because
That's a
unfortunately
penalty like a mug, dog.
he never came close to playing the ball. He didn't play the ball. He's not allowed just to hit anybody just because he's a goalkeeper.
The
And sure,
goalkeeper.
goalkeepers are given a lot of space and stuff like that. They're giving a lot of leeway, but not for
Yeah.
this. Not
He
for
just ran
this.
into him. He just ran
He
straight
took out
into him.
a guy.
Yeah.
He took out a threat at goal. And Simon Hooper, in his friggin' bald-headed brilliance, just lets him play. VAR, in their egg-headed brilliance, take a look at this thing and saying there's no clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
they
that-
didn't
that's
even
the
call
thing.
him to they didn't even call him to the monitor.
And on the American broadcast, Simon Hooper starts walking to the sideline. So you're like, oh, he must have been called over. He didn't do the box thing, but he must have been called over. No, he just was going over there to give Gary O'Neill a yellow card for his reaction to the fact that there should have been a penalty.
Wolves were robbed.
They were robbed.
Wolves were robbed.
They were robbed. It's another embarrassment for the virtual assistant referee. It's another embarrassment for Simon Hooper, but there's so many. It doesn't really matter. It's like,
Where's the Polish ref when I need him?
oh my god.
He's just not ref in the Premier League.
They should be. They should hire him.
Well, they should hire anybody else but the English because they're terrible at refereeing.
Yes.
They are awful. The biggest league in the world with the most vile officiating in
Yeah.
maybe any sport.
Hey,
It's
man, I'm not gonna lie to you,
incredible.
man. I'm not gonna lie to you. In the return match, in this match, if I was a player and we're in the box, I'm straight elbowing Andre Onana in the head. I'm sorry. I don't
Might as well
care.
take him. Might as well
I'm
take him
taking
out.
him. I'm taking him out. I'm taking him out.
He is
I'm not-
quite
I'm
a
not
large
saying-
man, though. So
I
know
don't
if that'll
care.
work.
A large man goes down when he doesn't know a flying torpedo's going through his head.
Wow. All right.
Wow, Ferris.
That's what I'm saying.
Incredible.
You just
I-
take him out. Just, you know what? Gary O'Neill should start somebody that he's okay with, but then you're going to have to play the entire game with 10 minutes. So that is a problem. So you know
V-
what? Get a lead, and then take him out at the end of the match.
Very
As
smart.
we have seen in this game today, though, Fares, getting a lead for Wolves is going to be a problem this year.
They have to score. They have to actual
that.
score. Yeah, they
That's
have
true.
to actually
That's
put
true.
it in the net.
What I'll say is, man, like I'm not trying to advocate someone to injure Andre Onana, but if I was a
think you are.
Wolves player, I kind of am. If I was a Wolves player, Andre Onana is not surviving the return game.
Incredible.
Or the next time we face you, let's say if it's in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, if we do face him, he's not surviving the match. That's all I gotta say. Because that was nonsense. That was not that what he did to that dude. That's a fight.
Yeah,
I'm fighting Andre Onana on the pitch.
Those things happen in football, but usually the right call is made. That's a foul. It's a penalty kick to Wolves. Like these things happen. It's not Onana's fault that the referees failed Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Well, no, it's not about the decision, Rob. It's about the action. He took
but
my
there's
teammate out.
It's the worst thing. It wasn't like it was a huge. He went into him and stuff like that. But
he finished the game.
Yeah. There's worse stuff that happens.
Okay, then disregard what I said.
There's
disregard what I said.
There are worse places that happen than that all the time. But,
yeah, I've seen. I remember during the World Cup in 2010 when Wesley Schneider cleated a man in the face.
Oh my god!
In midair, Rob, they jump, and the guy jumps straight up, and Wesley Sneijder sticks his leg out and just cleats him in the chest and jaw.
Oh,
and you know what happened to Wesley Sneijder?
No idea.
Nothing. Nothing happened to Wesley Sneijder. They didn't even they blew the whistle, and they're like, it's a foul, it's whatever. It's like, no, that's not a foul. He just committed. That's attempted murder right there with them cleats. Like, Wesley Sneijder's like, all right, I'm going back on defense.
It happened against Chelsea a couple times last year too. Those things happen. So yeah, I guess VAR did do the traditional call to apologize to Gary O'Neill, saying that it should have been considered a foul and penalty should have been given, for as much as that is goddamn worth to anybody. Also,
I hate when they do that.
Yes,
I hate when they do that.
Why bother saying?
Oh
anything?
yeah, we messed up. Like, yeah. Like it's like when the NBA does their final 2-minute report and they say, "Oh yeah, the refs missed these 3 calls." Yeah. What does that do? What does that help me now?
You know what it is?
Game's over.
It's thoughts and prayers.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we messed up. We're sorry we screwed you. It's whatever.
Gary O'Neill should have that yellow card rescinded by the league.
That should definitely happen.
It's not gonna happen. It won't happen.
Honestly,
okay,
man, like the yellow cards to the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen when like they score a goal and everyone jumps off the bench and there's like 4 coaches in the box? You know, like what happens? Are they gonna give everybody like what's happening?
Like, are we gonna see a coach suspended for yellow card accumulation this year? Is basically what I want to know.
So Jurgen Klopp got it.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Which head coach? I'm going Jurgen Klopp. I'm going Klopp.
I'm thinking it might be Arteta actually.
You know what? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is gonna be Mikel.
Who's the angriest?
Mikel.
It's not just about like being angry as well. It's just like showing
Mikel's
any emotion basically on the
Mikel's a bit condescending. You'll probably be condescending to these refs.
Yeah, I could see it. All right. Yeah, I think we're in agreement. Mikel Arteta is being sent up.
Romeo Leva, $64 million.
That's what they're saying.
64. But that, you know what's crazy? Liverpool offered 72.
Yeah, guess where he wants to play.
That's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, Barcelona is getting the Joaos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cancelo and Felix.
Yep.
It's what Felix wanted, and good for him.
I
think he played well for Chelsea last year. Couldn't finish for shit, but he played well.
I know this is a Premier League podcast, but that Getafe versus Barcelona game, that was some nonsense, man.
Xavi said it was an embarrassment to have people watch La Liga after that.
It was pure nonsense, Rob. I can tell you what happened. I'll tell you off screen what happened. Because it's a Premier League podcast.
Okay. But let's wrap it up. How we do? Well, you know what? Let's go way back. And we got our buddy Trevor in. we decided we're going to predict who wins every match, like we do every week. This one wasn't close. Let's see. How much did Adelia had? 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Adelia had 5, which is good. 5 out of 10. I had 1, 2,
F.
3, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6. Pretty good.
That's a D.
The young man who got to stay up way past his bedtime to join us on the show, which is very nice of his mom and dad, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. The only one he missed is that bastard pick Liverpool. That's the only one he missed.
You see, yo, Trevor cooking.
He picked 2 draws. They both came
picked the
through.
draws.
Yeah, unbelievable, that kid.
Yo,
12.
he's a witch.
Yeah, he's a warlock or
witch.
something. Yeah, some kind of sorcerer. So we will predict this week with our pal Fares. First
It's
match.
not gonna be like Trevor. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be like Trevor.
Yeah, the bar is set this high, Fares. You have to meet it. Starting the week Friday, Forest and Sheffield United. Forest playing at home, and they do one thing. What do you think?
Forest.
I'm picking Forest.
Forest.
Yeah, Forest wins at home, guys. This is what they do. Against Sheffield United shouldn't be a problem, but we'll see. Could be a good match here. Fulham and Brentford.
Brentford.
It's at Fulham, but I think I'm
Oh,
also
that's a
going to go
cottage.
Brentford.
It's at the Cottage.
I'll go Brentford though.
Yeah, I think Brentford as well. I don't think Fulham proved anything except that Everton can't score.
Yeah,
That's it.
pretty much.
Very, very lucky. Very lucky to walk out of there with 3 points. Liverpool at home to Bournemouth.
Liverpool.
Everyone's in
That
agreement
Anfield
there.
magic.
Wolves get a chance to pick themselves up the ground, but they have to play Brighton at home.
Draw.
I think it's going to be really hard for them to pick themselves up after this game. I'm going to go Brighton.
Fares to
Draw.
say draw. I'm going to say Brighton as well. Brighton can score, and it doesn't matter who it is. It's crazy. Another.
Wait. Brighton won 4-1, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, no, Brighton. Sorry.
Okay, that's an easy enough fix. Another interesting one at vaunted Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. You got Spurs and Man United.
I'm going to go Spurs at home.
Yeah. Spurs look better. James Madison is gonna cook that midfield.
I'm going to say this
Spurs.
is a draw. I'm going to take a draw. I hate them both.
Okay.
City and made the marquee matchup of maybe the early season in general. City and Newcastle at the Etihad.
I'm going to go draw.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna go draw too because Kevin De Bruyne missing. That's a big key.
It's big, but I still think City has the pieces. I'm going to pick Man City. An embarrassed Aston Villa at home against a Everton team that can't score goals.
Villa.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Villa as well. That's close to being a draw. West Ham at home to the best looking bunch in English football, maybe history, Chelsea Football Club.
I disagree with your assessment there, but Chelsea.
Doesn't sound like you disagree, Fares.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, I'm going to say Chelsea. No problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chelsea.
Yeah, all right. We'll see if James Ward-Prowse can make a difference for them, but, he was on a team that was recently relegated. Rounding out the week, only 9 games, and we'll talk about the 10th one, or why the 10th one isn't happening in a minute. Palace versus your own favorite, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Arsenal's going to win that one probably easily as well. But let's talk about why Luton and Burnley aren't playing. And that's because little Luton's 10,000 seat stadium isn't finished yet. The seats, I guess, are fine. Like, they have no problem with only 10,500 seats for some reason. But I guess everything for the media and everything else just is not up to par. So it looks like everything is going to get pushed now to the September 1st fixture against West Ham. and then they're gonna have to fill in the rest after that. But it'll be a few more weeks until we can see what is it? What's it called? The Kings? What is it? The Killings?
Kenilworth.
Kenilworth Road Stadium.
Mhm.
Let's see how it looks like on a big stage. Gonna take a couple more weeks. But there you go. No Luton Burnley this week, which would have been a barn burner for sure.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
It's basically a championship match.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't these guys play? These guys are two teams that know each other quite a bit, but now it's just getting pushed on to later in the season. But that's it for the show. We did it. And holy hell, that went on for a while. Lots of time about this. That's fine.
It's okay, Fares.
Yeah, that's good. Lots to talk about this week. Hopefully, next week will be as interesting. There's more news coming down the pike. Probably more signings. Let's see if anything happens with VAR after what happened today and stuff like that. It'll be interesting. We'll watch for Simon Hooper news and VAR news in general.
Has the ref ever been barred from doing games midway, like at the beginning of the season?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm sure at some point. I know that VAR guys lost their jobs last year, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure
for an on-field ref, I'm not sure.
Was it the Mark Clattenburg suspension thing mid-season when that happened?
Right. Yeah, but not right. Yeah, at the right.
That wasn't necessarily about anything he was doing on the pitch, though. But
Mark Clattenburg, wasn't it the guy on the Fox broadcast?
Yes, he's now a refereeing analysis expert for Fox.
Dr. Mark Clatton?
No, that's Dr. Joe Matchnick. That's the other guy. Mark Clattenburg's the English guy that does it.
Why is he a doctor? Is he doctor in what?
I don't know, Fares.
I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor now too.
What?
Yeah, Snark says he's a doctor now.
Oh. Now I'm a doctor too. It's pretty good.
Fares, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you?
Find me on this channel every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. Good Friends, Better Rivals, where we talk American football. Me and Caleb talk New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, NFC East overall. There's that, as well as on Fridays, 8 o'clock on our entertainment channel. Me and Adelia have the open table. And this week we have a special guests in Jen Kemp and Andres Gallego. We're talking about their life, their engagement, movies, board games, Mario, moving the East Coast, all that jazz with them too. This Friday, me and Adelia, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central.
Oh my
Welcome
God.
to join our dinner party, because you guys are invited.
Yeah. Snark, where can people find you?
You forgot 9 o'clock Mountain.
That
It's
doesn't
also
exist.
very important. You will find me very soon with my own medical practice. I have now a doctor.
Please be
as well.
serious.
I will also be on a new show with Fares. We're going to be covering the show Winning Time. Season 2 has just started. We've done a season 1 wrap up. We'll be doing episodes 1 and 2 of the show very shortly for this very channel. That's the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm not sure if this is on if we're doing it on the highlights or if we're doing it on the
It's on the entertainment channel.
Well, there you go. So yeah, we're bringing a little bit of the sports flavor to the entertainment channel. Also, I will do things with the entertainment news break with our buddy Justin, but on a bit of a hiatus because there's not much real news going on right now. Hopefully very soon. Also, the Rewatchers Council with Adelia and Fares will be on there as well. We'll be going through the Buffy the Vampire Slayer from episode 1 to 144. I can't wait for that. On top of that, I think that's about it. How about you, Adelia?
You can find me here every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific with Snark, and occasionally guests like Fares doing Starting 11. Season's back, you guys. Yeah. It's exciting. I was so excited to watch Premier League football this weekend. But until next time, you guys, we're out.